What is up everybody, this is Annie from Codit. In this video we're gonna be learning how to create this typewriter effect using pure vanilla JavaScript and no plugin. So let's get coding. So first we have to write the text in a paragraph tag. I am a, this is the still text which you were seeing there, and a span type.text. This is a text which you have to add the effect on, and I've written this in a span because you probably know I have to style this, and this text would be populated dynamically using JavaScript, but for the styling purpose I am writing this here. Okay, I am a web developer. Now that's end for this HTML. Now I'll move on to CSS. I have some basic stylings here. I have grabbed two fonts from Google Fonts, and now I'll first grab the universal operator and add some basic stylings here. And then now let's go to body, height 100 VH with 100%, display flex, justify coordinate center, align items center. Okay, so let's see what we have right now. Okay, so I have to write here display. That's perfect. Now let's add a background to dark here. This is the dark one. Okay, so we are done with our body. Now we'll move on to our paragraph tag. So we'll first add a font size of 2.4 rem, and then a color of light, and then we'll add a font family of Comforta here, and I have added these here, Comforta and this light one. Okay, so now we are done with the paragraph. Now we have to grab on this type text, which was the text on which you have to add the effect, and this would be dynamically written by JavaScript, but for the sake of CSS we are writing it here. So now here in type text, first we have to change the color to teal, and I have mentioned it here, teal hashtag 0808080. Okay, so now we'll add a font family to it, font family of red rust, and we have something like this. Okay, perfect. Now we also had a cursor here, so we'll do that using this span tag, another span tag. Okay, span.cursor. Okay, this is a span, and here we do not have to add any content, but we have to just add the cursor. So we'll add a width of 3 pixels, margin left of 4 pixels, background of teal. Okay, so but then also we do not have anything here, because by default the span tag has a display of inline in it, and if the display is inline we can't add width to it. So this is a span, so it has a display of inline, so we can't add this width here. So what we have to do is add a inline block. Okay, so now also we do not see anything, but if we add any content out here like A, if we added any content, then we would see the cursor here. Yes, we saw the cursor if we add some content there, but we do not want to add any content there. So what we'll do, we'll a kind of full HTML, we'll add NBSP and then a semicolon. What this will do is it will just make an imaginary space between the content, between these span tags. It will make an imaginary content this is not, no, this is not a content, this is not a content, but it only, it is only fooling HTML. It is saying that yes, there is a content, but that would be not visible to us. Okay, so we added a NBSP, non-breaking space, to it. Now we are done with our CSS also. Now let's move to our JavaScript. We'll first add the type text document, the span document dot query selector dot type text, and first let's remove this web developer out here. Okay. Now we'll move on to cursor document dot query selector dot cursor, and then we'll create an array here, const text array. This will contain the text which would be written using Typewriter. So the first one would be web developer, the second one would be web designer, the third one would be tutor, the last one would be learner. Okay, that's it. Now we'll add two variables, let text array index equals 0 and let char index equals 0. And what these two will do, that we have an array of 4 items. So what we will do, we will first write this item, we will first write this word, and then we will erase this word. Okay, so we will first write this word, then erase this word. Then what we have to do, we have to write the second word. So to jump off the first word, jump off the words, to navigate through the items or through the different items from this array, we'll use this text array index. And to first write W, then we have to write this E, then we have to write this B. So for that we'll use this char index. Okay, so you'll know it if text if char index. Okay, so first we have to declare this in a very function, and the function would be type, and then const type if char index is less than or equal to text array index dot length -1. Okay, so what I did here is, first by this text array index, I grabbed this first item, then I calculated the length of it, and then I reduced this by 1. Why did I reduce this? Because the index, the char index, and I told you I am using the char index to navigate through each letters of the word. Okay, so what this would be, char index first 0, that means it is on W, and we have to write this W here first. And what this text array index will do, it will first grab this element here, and then it will calculate the length, and the index starts from 0. This is the char index, that is the index of the letter which it is on right now. So it would be first 0, and then we have to find the length. So it starts from 1. So why I reduced it? Because it starts from 1 and index starts from 0. To manage that, to tackle that, I reduce this by 1. Okay, so I hope you understand. Now here what I'll do is, I'll write type text dot text content plus equals text array. Okay, text array index dot char index. So what I'm trying to do here, well, I'll first see type text dot text content. I'm using this type text, and I'm appending a kind of adding the letters to it. How I'm adding? I'm first grabbing this item. Grabbing this item with this. with the text array of 0. This actually means right now text array of text array index actually means this of 0, because text array index is 0. So it would first grab this first element and then dot char at char index. So it will see the character at char index, and the char index is 0. That means it would see w, and it would add this w in this type text. Okay, so that's it. Now we have to call this function document. So I'll document dot add event listener dom content loaded, and we'll call this function type here. So let's refresh and we can't see anything happening. Why? Because okay, here we have an error. Uncut reference text array index is okay. Sorry. Text array. Now it will be perfect. And now we'll see this w here. Okay, so w is here. Now okay, it's perfect. Now but we have to write this whole word. So what we will do is we'll first increment this char index, and then we would again call this type function. Okay, so now it refreshes and it writes whole word at a glance, at an instant. So what we'll do is we'll first we'll set timeout and then type, and then let's say 120. Okay, so it writes I'm a web developer. Okay, so it is perfect. Now once it has written everything, we have to erase it. So we'll go to the else block, and now we'll call this erase function. But here also we'll use this set timeout function, erase, and then after 1 second, and then we'll go to const erase, and then if char index is greater than 0, that means if char index is greater than 0, that means if the letter is not the first one, so it will erase, and if the letter is the first one, okay, so what I'm telling is if the char index is greater than 0, that means if it is 1, then erase that. That means if it will erase the first, it will erase the first letter also. Then we don't want to erase, because we will not have any letter after that, and you will know when we will code here. So if char index is greater than 0, type text content equals text array index dot slice 0 char. You will know what I'm doing in just a bit when I'll explain you, but first let me write here. Okay, so what I did is I did not add it, and I did not add any letter to it, but I set the letter to this text array of text array index, and I sliced it from 0 to char index -1, because the char index now is the last one, that is the length, and then I reduce it. That means it will start from this 0, it will go to E, because the char index is now at R, because we have set it here, we had incremented this. Okay, so it is now at R. So if we decrement it by 1, then it would go to E. Okay, so it will erase this R, and yes, it does. Okay, so now let's reduce this char index, and then we'll set time out, and we'll call this erase once again after 80 milliseconds. Okay, so here it writes I'm a web developer, and it erases everything. Okay, so now once it erases, we want it to move at the second word. So else, then we will now increment this text array index. Okay, now increment that, and now we'll set time out type. We'll again call this type function after 1000 millisecond, that is 1 second. Now it refreshes. Okay, now it refreshes. I'm a web developer. It erases. I'm a web designer. Okay, perfect. Erases. I'm a tutor. Perfect. And the last word, learner. It will erase that. Now we'll see an error here. Yes. Uncaught type error cannot read property length of undefined. We cannot see this length of undefined. And why it is undefined? Because now after this learner has erased, we incremented the text array index. Now it is from 0, 1, 2, 3. It was till 3. Now it is 4. And text array of 4 is not defined. It is not here. Okay, so we can't see this length. And so in order to handle that situation, we have to write if text array index is greater than text array dot length minus 1, text array index is equals to 0. And what I did here is if text array index, and what's this text array index? This is 4 now. When it goes out of the canvas, it is 4. Okay, and if 4 is greater than text array dot length, if dot length, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 1, that is 3. And if 4 is greater than 3, then text array index will be set to 0, and then the type will be called again. So you can see here, I'm a tutor, I'm a learner, and then after learner it go back to web developer. Nice. Okay, so here's another uncaught token curly braces. Was it so? It should not be. Okay, we will see that. I don't know why it is so. And okay, first let's move to this cursor, then we will see this what is happening here. Now we have the cursor. We want our cursor to blink whenever it stops and to stop whenever it writes. Okay, so if you can see here, I'm not writing, so the cursor is blinking. If I'm writing something, the cursor does not blink, and if I leave, the cursor starts blinking. So what I'll do here is I want a specific time for my cursor to blink. So for that we would add a class here of blink to blink it, and whenever this class is added, the cursor would blink. Okay, so if the cursor dot blink, will grab this and set an animation to blink of into 0.8 seconds is in out infinite. At keyframes, we will now declare this blink. At 0% and 100%, the background should be of teal, which is, and at 40% to 50%, the background should be transparent. Okay, so now it would blink. It is blinking, but the problem is that it is blinking whenever it is writing also. So what we'll do in our JavaScript, whenever it is writing, whenever the writing effect is taking place, the cursor, the class of this blink would be removed. So here in the type function, if it is typing, then the cursor should be, then the blinking class of this cursor would be removed. So cursor dot class list dot remove this blink. Okay, now we remove that, and now else statement. On the else statement, we are calling this erase, and whenever we erase, then also our cursor does not blink. So but here it is not blinking. It has a pause of 1000 millisecond or 1 second here. So in that 1 second, it would, what it would do, it would blink. So for that we will add the class of this, that blink here, add blink. Now whenever it is at the pause, it would blink. Okay, I'm a web developer. Okay, so I'm a web developer. It started blinking, but yeah, it's good. But now when it writes, it does not blink, but when it erases, it blinks. So to handle that, we'll go to our erase function, and whenever it is erasing, we'll remove this class from here, class list dot remove blink. And now when the erasing is completed, then we'll add this class here, cursor. Okay, so cursor dot class list dot add blink, and then set timeout type 1000 milliseconds, and this one, after 1 second the typing effect would take place. Now so till the time we added this blink class to here. Okay, so now we can see here I'm a learner. Okay, so whenever it is not writing, the blinking effect takes place, and whenever it erases, the blinking effect removes whenever it is done. Now we are done with our code. That's it for this video. If you like the video, smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get the instant notification of our latest videos.